welcome to another episode of Coffee with April. This time we're going to talk about Kenyan coffee. And we're going to start with what we're drinking right now. So we're drinking a fresh crop Kenyan coffee from a process station called Gakuyini. It tastes absolutely amazing. It is one of the best Kenyan coffees we have had.
Sure.
But we have it now, and we bought it only for a competition because we believe it's tasting the absolute best right here, right now, and will most likely not be this tasty later on.
Sure.
Joe, could you tell us a bit more about this coffee so they have an understanding of what it is?
So this is, just to give some context, also the coffee that I used in competition.
Yes.
Alongside this pitch, because it truly was a coffee that it just stood out on the shopping table. We're going to come to speaking about the coffees that we have bought, but this particular one, it's a Kenyan region. It's a cooperative, so it's about 1,500 members, and that's kind of an average growing altitude of 1,700 meters above sea level. But that tied in with the with this growing region having the lowest average temperatures in Kenya. Means you've got a really nice long maturation, and with this particular coffee coming to us fresh, we were so surprised that it tasted so good.
Sure.
Yeah. But I mean, you can taste the pedigree in the cup. You can really taste the sorting. I mean, they've worked a lot, this particular factory with the cooperative, in ensuring that collection. There's actually 3 separate collection points for all of the cooperative members here. So logistically, it's an unbelievably strong factory for sure.
For sure, and it's tasting amazing, right? But what we're trying to say here, and kind of our idea with the other Kenyan coffees that we will actually work with, because this lot none of you will actually taste, unfortunately, unless you're a membership club subscription member. Then you've already tried it.
Of which I should say we've had a lot of very positive feedback from as well.
So become a member. That's one thing. Secondly, we learned very early on last year, and I have also previously in my roasting career, it's very clear, especially with Kenyan coffees, that they peak very differently. Right? We still can't really say exactly why this is. It's probably based on terroir and processing and so on and so on.
Sure.
Especially last year, Capsicizio for us, one of our favorite coffees.
Yep.
We just did not understand that coffee because it was going on and off from being delicious to tasting almost old to being absolutely delicious again.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, we almost wondered as if there was an issue somewhere in inconsistency of the quality of the green coffee that we'd received. I mean, and it was, in that sense, a great learning experience to then a few months later see that quality come up and stay consistently high.
Exactly.
And then stay consistently high for much longer after that.
Sure.
In fact, that coffee ended up being the coffee that Patrick competed with this year, in fact.
And we won with it, right? So a very good cup of coffee.
Yeah.
It was just that coffee needed more time than others, right? So that's something we've been taking into consideration now when we're buying coffee as well.
Yeah.
And we're bringing in some really strong stuff. First out is a coffee from a process station called Karogatu, which is basically a split from Tikango that we had last year. So basically same region, similar farmers, just kind of its own process station these days, right? And Karogatu had traditionally been absolutely amazing when it comes to coffee quality, right? Yeah. We're also working with Capsicizio that will come up later in the year. We love that coffee. Again, growing out in the West, which is very different in terms of other coffees that we find.
Sure, yeah. It's actually it's at Mount Elgin, so it's right on the border with Uganda. With Uganda. Yeah. And different growing region for sure. Still high altitude, still SL28, SL34.
Sure.
But I mean very different flavor profile for sure.
Very different, like this kind of whiny, wild character to it. Absolutely amazing. Yeah. And then perhaps our most exciting coffee for me personally. Joe doesn't know this, but Gatamboya was the first Kenyan coffee I ever roasted.
Yeah, sure.
Back in my Don Mateo days.
I knew there was a reason you were very enthusiastic about it.
It's an absolutely amazing station that has been producing some of the most delicious coffee for a very long time. And if you look back 6-7 years, this was a coffee that everyone would have had.
Sure.
Every single roaster.
Yeah.
And then for like 4 or 5 years now, it basically dropped off. No one, at least in Europe, actually worked with it.
Yeah.
Roasters in the States have continued to work with it, but for some reason, no one was buying it in Europe. So we're very, very excited to have that back in here.
Yeah.
We haven't quite yet decided exactly when to release it.
No.
Apart from the fact that Karagoto will go up first, and then when that's out, our next Kenyan coffee will come in, right?
Sure.
Basically. Yeah. So, what more do we have to say about Kenyan coffees? So, as we did last year, and I wasn't sure when we started this whole kind of April project, but we're gonna push some of them as espresso as well.
Yep, sure.
We have been getting some really good feedback on it. We're going to be a bit mindful of which Kenyan coffee we push as espresso. Again, that's based on sweetness and acidity and balance overall in the coffee.
Yep.
Do you want to tell us a bit more? We're launching another Kenyan espresso right now.
Yeah.
KAA.
Yeah. So we have Key actually.
Yeah.
And that, as Patrick mentioned, that's the AA crop. A really great coffee. Again, you know, a lot of florals, also a lot of red berries. But we're roasting that particularly for espresso right now. We find that matches the profile.
Yeah.
We've also recently we've been working with Chikangu for the previous year, another great Kenyan coffee.
Yeah.
We're coming up to an end of that now. So it's worth jumping with
Yeah, we roasted actually the last one today.
Okay.
So they're
that's
like
gone.
completely out.
Okay. Well, I mean that was a really enjoyable coffee to work with. But I mean this coming in with the fresh crop onto espresso, we kind of think we find a little bit more difficulties with that.
Sure.
And this coffee represents something of just a little bit more stability.
Yeah.
And we hope you appreciate that as well. But it's a truly excellent coffee. It's
It
actually
is. It's for those of you who have tried our cold brew.
Yes.
That's what it
It's
is,
the
right?
base, yeah.
And that's actually why we bought that coffee as well. Mainly because it was very, very stable. Displayed very nice balance overall, and the coffee is very sweet yet still acidic and vibrant. Perfect for an espresso at the moment. There's going to be a very limited run of the espresso. You only have like 1-2 boxes, and then it's going to be out. So if you guys want to try it, you should get it now. Yeah, I think that. Do you have anything else to add?
No, I mean we will speak about Kenyan coffee in more detail when we reflect on my competition as well. First, as we said, first coffee coming up will be Karagoto. That's going to be a Peaberry. Just particularly that this lot just jumped out at us again. It's another one of these that again it wasn't as ready as as the previous crop we mentioned, but in this sense we could see that it had a lot of potential and it was going to be a great coffee to work with.
Yeah, and Peaberries are, when they're good, they're better than anything else.
Sure.
That's kind of my personal. Best Kenyan coffee I had last season was a Peaberry from Capsicizio. I'm so frustrated that we couldn't get that this year. That's a Tim exclusive, I believe.
Sure.
But roasted by Tim.
Yeah,
that was the amazing. I remember when we tried that coffee.
Yeah.
We had this board. We tried to do a video. Doesn't matter. Delicious coffee.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing coffee. We expect this Karagoto Peaberry to be one of the best Kenyan coffees this season. So make sure you try it.
Sure.
I think apart from that, that was all we had for Kenya this time. As Joe said, we're gonna come back with some more Kenyan specific talk.
For sure. I mean,
as we go.
this is just introducing, and I mean, it's an origin we love to work with. We love to talk about. We love to, so we will be back with more for sure.
Cool. Thank you very much for watching. As always, comment down here. Write to us. We want more comments. We're not getting enough comments. Share if you guys like it as well. On a side note, we do have our podcast coming up. I should say that. This is good marketing.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for that.
Sure.
That's going to be really cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.